Again, just like the hands, we're going to do a few lines at a time. So that we can blend them without it getting too dry and cracky. I want these between the toe creases to be kind of darker than the rest of these like nail creases. And then all these topical creases I want to be a little bit lighter so they'll blend out a little more. My brush is getting a little loaded with paint, so brush off any excess. Carry on. These little feet have lots of creases. Alright, almost there. We'll move up our leg. My palette is getting a little dry, so I'm just reaching over to the wet stuff and pulling a tiny bit back over to the dry stuff, just to keep it from getting so thick. This is a big crease, so I'm only going to do this side of it on this go, and then I'll catch it in the middle and do the other half of it on the other side. Okay, again, like the elbow, I'm going to come up with wetter stuff. I'm going to dry off my brush a little bit and then just paint some on my kneecap. I've got a cotton ball that just fell into it and left hairs all over it. I don't want to see a solid line around the edge of this. I want it to blend all the way out, all the way down, until it doesn't need to be blended anymore. And like the shoulders, I'm going to do the same with the thighs and give it kind of a finishing darkening around the top of the thigh. Okay, so this little leg is pretty close to done. I'll look at it one more time just to make sure I didn't miss any parts that I feel like need it. I will come in for the nail beds and the nail tips and another layer, but I'm going to give it a once over, make sure I didn't miss any of the creases. Looks good to me. Very good. Alright, now the fun part. Little Miss Suu Kyi. I'm going to start her off by doing the blushing on her cheeks. Sweet little baby. I really love this kit. The excess, I'm going to put some on her chin and on her little fat wrinkle underneath and a little bit on her nose. And that starts a little bit of her blushing. I'm not going to put any on additionally. I'm just going to use more of the excess there on her eyelids just to give that a little color. Okay. I'm going to outline her eyes. I don't want this to be too red, because then it will look like she's been fussing, and I don't want to make it look like she's been crying or has allergies or anything. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the top lid as well. That creates depth around that one. Again for the next eyeball. And I'm pushing this paint into its spot rather than pulling it out because I don't want the red to come out all over the eyelid. Looking cute. Alright, now I'm going to stick some of the darkest stuff up her nose so I can create the shading in the depth inside of her nostrils.